Paid parental leave. Let's talk about that. The US is actually the only developed country in the entire world that does not offer some form of mandated parental leave for its full-time employees. My speech today is to help educate us as well as help to encourage us to make changes for our own parental leave in our economies, and as well as trying to push for parental leave mandated at a federal level as well. I'll go over how parental leave can actually have a positive impact on the economy, where most people think, hey, how am I going to make money if I'm paying money not to people who do not work? I'll also go over how other developed countries that do offer paid parental leave stacks up against our parental leave policies now in their economies, as well as how we can get involved to help push paid parental leave, not just in our own areas, but as well as how we can get it pushed on a more federal level as well. But first, I'd like to go over a short, brief history of parental leave in the United States. Most of us are familiar with at least maternity leave, and that once a woman gives birth to a child, she has up to 12 weeks of leave to where she can tend and nurture and take care of the child. It is unpaid, however. O'Connell Downs wrote in Maternity Leave and Employment Patterns of 1961 to 1995, stated that only 14% of mothers participated in the workforce 6 months after birth. Now, maybe that was because women plan on having more than one child, and so why go back to work if you're just going to have to leave again and it's not long enough to really establish a good work ethic at your job. Or maybe they felt so comfortable with not working and taking care of the children that it seemed more important to them to be at home. I'm not really sure. But the first push for equal rights in paid parental leave was actually made by a man named Gary Ackerman in 1969 when he worked at a high school in Queens, New York. One denied the opportunity or the right to go and stay with his newborn daughter. He filed for a class action lawsuit in which he won equal rights for paternal leave. Now, neither of these cases are paid, and nothing is mandated as far as the U.S. federal government goes for paid parental leave as of yet. And up until 1993, all forms of parental leave and maternal leave was actually mandated and was enforced at just a state level, state government level. Until 1993, when Bill Clinton signed the Family and Medical Leave Act, which mandated on a federal level that all full-time employees are eligible for up to 12 weeks of unpaid leave for medical or family-related reasons. Now, let's compare that real quick to some of the other countries, developed countries around the world. So, some paid leave countries that we're probably unfamiliar with of what they offer, but are familiar with as far as their economy and how developed their countries are countries such as Sweden or Portugal, Germany, Austria, and Canada all offer anywhere between 5 to 15 or even 20 weeks of paid family leave. I have read up on a few of the countries and what they offer for their families, and it's anywhere between 20 to 50 or 60% of their annual income. Many of these countries have had some form of paid family leave in place for decades, and it wasn't until not too long ago that at a federal level the U.S. didn't even have a form of mandated family leave. According to the Department of Labor, most of us might think that, if we're paying people to not work, how are we going to make any money? According to the Department of Labor, they actually say that only 12% of the U.S. private sector workers have access to paid family leave through their employers. However, paid maternity leave can increase the female labor force, as well as participating by making it easier for women to stay in the workforce. They also say that paid leave leads to better outcomes for parents and children. Parental leave improves children's health outcomes, including increased birth weight, decreased premature births, and decreased infant mortality. Paid leave increases worker retention and reduces turnover, saving businesses significant costs associated with replacing employees. So those are just a few of the benefits according to the Department of Labor.gov/paid leave, how it can better help our economies. And in fact, I have a chart here. According to the Global Competitiveness Report of 2015 to 2016, these are the top 10 most competitive global economies. And you can see the US is within the top 3, so we do have a very good, healthy, and competitive economy. But Switzerland, Singapore, Germany, Finland, Sweden, and the UK, many of the same countries that we see who offer and mandate paid family leave are also on this list. And according to the research, we can see that paying for people to take care of their families is not necessarily a bad thing, which is probably the number one most fought reason for why we shouldn't have paid parental leave mandated in the United States. So I'd like to show just a few of the companies in the United States that do offer some form of paid parental leave for their employees. And surprisingly enough, the companies that offer the best form of paid parental leave are some of the biggest and most economically versatile companies in the entire United States. We have companies such as Facebook, Instagram, Reddit, Google, Pinterest, and Microsoft. Some other countries that do not appear on this list as well are companies such as IBM, Apple, and other tech type companies. They offer anywhere between 4 and 17 weeks of paid paternal leave. Other companies such as Google and Facebook actually even give bonuses and incentives to have babies, such as anywhere between $500 and to $1,000 of what they call baby bucks for anyone who happens to have a baby. Now, some ways that we can get involved, or that we can actually push to help give awareness to paid parental leave and some of its benefits, is really to just start in your current workforce. Talk to your HR reps, talk to those bosses that you are close enough to see if they offer or would consider offering some form of paid parental leave for their employees. Just like in the United States not too long ago, it was not mandated at a federal level that we even have any form of parental leave. And so starting with the companies and then moving up to a statewide form of paid parental leave, California is actually working towards that right now, might be the best way and plan of action for us to get involved in how we can push for a better, healthier economy by focusing on the importance of our families and our future workforce, as well as treating our current workforce with the respect and dignity that it deserves through a paid parental leave. Thank you.